Hey everybody! So I've had a really brutal day. I just want to update you on all the events so far. So 5 weeks ago, my small bucks, Rubble and Mickey, were attacked by a raccoon. Here's some footage of their injuries. They had puncture marks, injured legs, and Rubble had an injured neck. His head was kinked to the side for a little while. So they were taken to the vet and they were given rabies shots and pain meds, antibiotics, and anti-inflammatories. And it's been 5 weeks and they were healing up perfectly. Their wounds were healed, their legs were no longer bad. An update on Mickey and Rubble and how good they're doing after their raccoon incident. They were pretty badly injured and they're doing wonderful. So soon they're going to go in the big pen with the bigger buck. I didn't want them loose with the other goats until their legs were healed up. But now that they're not limping and they're happy and healthy, I think they'll go in with Mr. Boulder very soon. Mickey! Rubble! Hi, baby. If you remember in my other videos, I was just about to let them in the pen with the big buck so that they could have a companion and protector. Because they were all healed up, I wasn't worried about him hurting them, so they were going to be released very soon. I normally don't give bucks and wethers grain, but these guys are healing from some injuries and they're really young, so I've been giving them a cup and a half each. They're going to be going in with Boulder really soon. Last night I came out to feed the animals and Mickey was screaming and he couldn't stand up. He was holding his neck at a weird angle. He was just acting really wrong. There's some footage of that. What's wrong, buddy? I had no idea what was happening with him, so I took him over to the vet and I waited there for a while. They thought maybe that he had urinary tract stones, so they did an ultrasound and they said his bladder was so small they couldn't find it, so it wasn't that. And then they said the symptoms seemed neurological and they were really worried about it being rabies. So they said it was either rabies, listeria, or thiamine deficiency. The thiamine deficiency wasn't something that they thought it probably was because the feed I've been giving him has the vitamin B in it. And the listeria, they said if it was that, the point he was at was going to kill him anyways. So the vet suggested I put him down so that they could send his body off to get tested for rabies. So I'm at the vet with Mickey. They're doing an ultrasound on him now. I'm trying not to cry because I still have to drive home. But the vet thinks that it's rabies that Mickey has, and they're going to euthanize him tonight because they have to euthanize him to test for it. So Mickey is going. Hey, so it's 9 o'clock. I'm just getting to chores now. I just got back from the vet. I didn't make it home without crying. I spent a long time in that parking lot trying to make it home. So I've spent the whole day today on the phone with the police department, the vet, my doctors, the public health lady, nurse, and it's been a very stressful day. So we're waiting on the results. It's Friday now. I won't get the results till Monday. And since I was in contact with Mickey, and I carried him in to the vet, bare-armed, and I must have touched his saliva at some point. I'm scared that I might have rabies, so not something I'd ever think I'd say in my lifetime. So at this point, the nurse suggests I wait till Monday for the results, and if it comes back positive, I'll have to get treated. Some scary stuff. So I'll keep you updated. So one of the first things I noticed when I went to help Mickey was that he had a very large clump of grass hanging out of his mouth with lots of drool on it. So I thought he was choking at first. So I reached in his mouth and pulled that out. And I never washed my hands in between there and going to the vet. So I don't know if I touched my mouth, my eyes in between then and washed my hands. So I'm going to share what the town police animal control officer, the state health official nurse, and my vet told me. I'm not looking to spread falsehoods, so this is just what I was told today. So the vet told me that there's no chance of a false positive on the rabies test because of the vaccine. So if it comes back positive, it's definitely rabies. It's not going to show positive because we gave him the shot after he was attacked. The police officer told me to not touch anything in the pen, and to if I do wear shoes in the area where the goat's been, to make sure those stay away from everybody else and are only worn in that pen, because if for whatever reason they got a little spit on them, there's a slim chance that could contaminate something. So I'm going to be feeding Rubble through the top of his pen. I'm going to be throwing hay into his feeder and dumping water over for the next 3 days until I'm sure it's not rabies. So we'll have no contact with him, and neither will the other goats. And the nurse told me that these final stages of rabies, where it goes to the brain, is when the salivary glands get the virus and when it can be spread through the spit. So she said because the goat was only showing symptoms last night, that if I was exposed, I've only been exposed for a day, and that I have 10 days to get treated from that day. So that's what I've been told today. Just waiting on the results now. It's going to be a long weekend. All right. Good night. Just to let you guys know, Rubble is showing no symptoms. He's healthy, he's eating, he's acting quite normal. So hopefully it's not rabies, and hopefully it's just a reaction to the vaccine that Mickey had or some other problem. The public health is also testing for a few other diseases for me, so hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. Hi, Rubble. So Rubble is in isolation until Monday when we get the results of the rabies test. So he is in the stall within this building, and I'm feeding him hay from the outside, and I'll have to go in the cattle panel here to dump water in. But until Monday, that's where he has to be, poor buddy. So we can access the back of these buildings through the garden. This flap lifts up so you could fill the hay if you have to get in there. I lifted the window flap up for him to give him some more sunlight. Hi, Rubble. You okay, buddy? Oh. He has hay and water for the day. I'll have to throw some bedding in with him. But he'll be safe in here, and all the other goats will be safe from him if he did have rabies, so. Yep. Have a good day, Rubble. Sorry, buddy. So knowing there might be rabid animals in the area, it's really scary coming out here in the dark. This morning I was looking around and I had a pair of glowing eyes staring at me. It was a possum in a tree, but definitely gotta stay alert. Hopefully it's not rabies, because if it is, we have definitely a big problem on the farm here. So I wanted to share one more thing that the public health vaccination nurse told me. She said that to spread it through the saliva has to go into an open wound, a scratch on your hand, into your eyes or into your mouth while it's still wet. As soon as it dries, the virus is dead, so it's not a concern anymore. So she said if I were to get it on me, by the time I bring it into the house, leave my shoes at the door, it's very unlikely that anyone in my family is going to contract it through the spit from the goat by me bringing it in the house, especially because I'm bleaching my hands when I clean my milk pump every day when I come in from chores. So they're not concerned about my family getting it. So Mickey was put down on Thursday night. It's now Saturday night, so I still have to get through tomorrow and who knows how long on Monday before I get the results for the rabies test. I want to talk about, I really appreciate the vet that I had when we had to put Mickey down, because she was very straightforward with me. It's a very hard decision to make, to put down an animal, and the fact that she told me these are the 3 things that I think it could be, and no matter which one it is, I think you should put down the animal because he's probably not going to make it anyways, and then you don't want to risk if it's rabies. I was happy that she was straightforward with me, because trying to make that decision on a maybe he might survive, it's a really hard decision to make. So having the vet say, listen, he's not going to make it anyways, even if it's the thiamine deficiency, even if it's listeria, the stage he's at, he's gone already. It helped me to make that decision. I feel bad for Rubble. He's going to be alone for another day and a half, and then he lost his buddy, so he's going in with the big buck if he's not positive for rabies, but yeah, he's going to be a pretty sad goat. I'm going to have to find him a new buddy. Rubble's still doing good. He's not showing any symptoms. And we're still waiting. Alright, good night. Talk to you later. Cute sleeping goats. You build them a shelter. And they'll only sleep in it when it's pouring rain or in a snowstorm. Otherwise, they like to sleep right in the grass. Good night, goats. Good night, Blue. Good night, baby. Hello. So it's Monday, 11:30. Still waiting on a call for the results for the rabies. Said the earliest I'll hear back is noon, so hopefully today. I'm gonna make some calls, make sure they get back to me today. Hopefully they do. There's a Boris. Boris. So one aspect I haven't touched upon that was really scary in all this is that I'm pregnant. So the thought of me getting rabies and the thought of having to take this pretty strong medication to treat the rabies if I have it was nerve-wracking because I'm not sure how it's going to affect the baby. All studies that I could find say that it's safe, so cross my fingers, pray to God, hope it is, hope everything's going to be fine. The other aspect of this is when Rubble and Mickey were attacked, my mother was the one that was farm sitting for us. We were away, and we were too far away to be of any help. So she heard a noise in the middle of the night. They were screaming. So she went out and checked on Rubble and Mickey. And a giant animal ran out of their house. It was biting Mickey in the face, and it was biting their legs. She scared it off for a second, but it came back. And then it dragged Rubble off into the hedge. It was dark and it was raining, so she lost track of them when Rubble stopped screaming. So for a long time, she thought Rubble was dead. She called me. It was about midnight. This is why farmers don't leave their farms, because you're gone and something happens, you're helpless. You can't do anything. It's not fun. So about 24 hours later, Rubble came back, and that was a miracle because we all thought he was dead. They searched a long time during the day and couldn't find him. So then she brought them to the vet, and they got their vaccinations. But what was scary about that is that she washed his wounds, so I didn't know what her exposure was to the rabies, with the raccoon spit being in the wounds. So everyone I talked to yesterday said she should be okay, that she'd have to get lots of that spit into fresh wounds or into her mouth and eyes, and she washed her hands right after she dealt with the cleaning the wounds, so she and the neighbor that helped her should be good. Pray that that's true also. Everyone I asked said that she should be fine. Very scary stuff because there's no cure once you get to a certain point. You have to get treated right away. So, it's a scary disease. Hi guys, it's Tuesday morning. I'm out in the garden over here checking on Rubble. He looks good. So I heard back from the Department of Health yesterday at 2:30. The test result for the rabies did come back positive. They're going to run a second test to make sure. After I heard from them, everyone recommended that I go get my immunizations, so I got the immunoglobulin and the rabies shot last night at the ER. I was there really late, and I have to go back for 3 more rabies shots. So I wish I had my husband filming, although he probably would have dropped the camera. So I got the immunoglobulin shot. They did 1 rabies shot in my arm, an immunoglobulin in my left thigh. I started feeling funny. By the time he gave me the second one in my right thigh, I told him so. I'm like, oh, I feel funny. And then I passed out onto the bed. So I've never passed out before. That was a weird feeling. Woke up very confused. And then I woke up and he's like, I have bad news. You still need 1 more shot. So I also had to get a 3rd one in my butt. But, so not fun. Make sure if you ever need that treatment, you drink a lot of water. I was dehydrated. So. No fun. So it means we are dealing with a rabies issue on the farm here. monitoring Rubble for exposure. He's going to be locked up for 45 days, and if he shows any symptoms, he'll be put down. All the other goats should be safe from them because they were quarantined, but they'll be monitored also. Any weird symptoms, I'll be calling the vet. So that's where we stand right now. So after I passed out yesterday, I was not feeling good all night. I was throwing up and had a headache, dizziness. So feeling a lot better this morning. I'm gonna make sure I get hydrated today. And right now I'm just waiting on the second confirmation test to make sure it was actually rabies. They said it's very unlikely it's going to contradict the first one. They've never had that happen, so highly likely rabies is an accurate diagnosis. So where we go from here is I'm going to be setting traps, hopefully catching some raccoons, and the animal control recommends I put down whatever I can catch for raccoons in the area, and we'll see. So it was really hard for me putting down Mickey. I caught him on the day he was born from his mom, and I bottle raised him for 3 months. I've had him since then, so that was really hard losing my baby. Really hoping I don't have to do the same for Rubble. Rubble I was bottle feeding also. And I'm just scared for my overall herd health, so I'll be in contact with my vet, trying to do the best I can to keep my goats safe, and us. Hi. So thanks for joining me, guys, on this crazy adventure. I hope to never have to deal with it again, and I'll be updating you on any new information I get. All right, see you next time.